The functions of the operating system. Now we are discussing about how the batch processing. The batch processing was group of files that we had said before also. The group of files or the group of instructions are written within a file. And that is only called batch processing. Suppose I want to do MS Excel, MS Word and some more tasks. So in a group, we can write all these in the whatever that the tasks that within the group of the file that is called name. You can give any name with the .bat extension should be there. .bat means it is a group batch file. It is short form of the batch that we can write one after another. Our control of the system will keep on performing the task one after the another. That is group of instructions we are writing within a batch file. So that is called the batch processing. Okay, so you can see this is in the page 3 of the first chapter. It is there. It is one of the oldest method of the data processing. Multi-user system. Similar jobs are submitted to the CPU for processing. So CPU for processing. So various tasks we are providing to the CPU. Jobs are ready, and then these jobs are grouped in the same batch. All the jobs are written together in a group, and the control is to perform one after the another in the group. Okay, so this is only basically it is called that the batch processing or the group of tasks it is being performed. But these jobs are classified as long jobs that requires more processing times. Okay, it requires more processing time, so it is known as the long job. If it is the jobs are very short, which require a short processing time. Thus, in the batch processing system, batch jobs are executed automatically. I told you a group of instructions are written within a batch file or the group file, which extension always should be a .bat, right? So one after the another, the task used to keep on performing. Once the job is loaded in the primary memory, once it is loaded, it becomes ready for the processor. That means once it is loaded means now the control will start working. No need of user's intervention over there. What are the tasks that the user has written in a sequence? It will keep on performing all that. Now when the processor is available, the processor scheduler selects the job and loads it in the memory for execution. Okay, what is that it is doing? The processor scheduler. Scheduler means who is maintaining the schedule. Schedule means in the job of that batch file we have written that how one after the another task it will do. Scheduler selects the job and loads it in the memory for execution. Okay, the users have no direct control. Users once the batch file starts executing, then users cannot interfere or user cannot intervene in that. So one after another they will keep on performing the task. Okay, in this system jobs are scheduled in the order of their arrival. It is based on generally based on first come first serve, first come first serve. So as the process in the batch file we have written, suppose this is the first task to be performed, so it is performing the first, and which is written last, that is to perform last. This is the system of FCFS. FCFS is first come first serve. So this is having but various disadvantages. The system doesn't have set any priority. The system never sets any priority that this function will be first or this function will be second, or this function will be next. Whatever that the user is giving the sequence in the batch, it will keep on performing one after the another in a sequence. Okay, so the users cannot interfere or intervene in that, and the system processing. Okay, once the process begins the execution of the job, second disadvantage is what? Once the process begins, means if it is started, the execution of jobs automatically takes place one after the another. Next third disadvantage is what? The CPU time and the memory are underutilized. The CPU time and the memory are underutilized. Underutilized means, what do you mean by that? So the CPU time, whatever the time of the processing sharing we are given, to perform. Okay, memory are underutilized. Underutilized means, so within that task it will keep on performing. Okay, it is a time consuming. It takes enough time to process all these instructions in a group. Okay, it is next part. It is having that the multi-programming. Multi-programming, how it performs, you see, in batch processing there is a possibility of underutilization of the main memory. I said it, underutilization of the main memory of the computer system. The concept of multi-programming system has been introduced where two or more independent programs can be executed. It is a type of multitasking also, rather we can say. In multi-programming, when one program is waiting for in transfer, so one after the another task it used to keep on performing. Suppose first task it is doing, okay, then it is waiting for the second task. Okay, as soon as it completes the first task, the second task moves on to the control to perform second one. Okay, next, like this way, the third one also keeps on moving. Okay, in multi-programming, like this, multi-programming is more than one program. It keeps to keep on performing like this way. When one program is waiting for IO transfer, IO means the control shifts the task to the input-output system where it will perform the task. Okay, utilize the CPU, and it is utilizing the CPU. It is possible for several users to share the execution time of the CPU in a sequence. So like a mainframe computer, what happens? Some various types of tasks are coming from the various places. Okay, and in a schedule, it depends upon the FCFS. FCFS is first come first serve. So suppose it is some task is going from some tasks are coming from the Bhagalpur, some tasks are coming from the Patna. So like this way, which task came first, it will perform first. So like this way, it's CPU. It is sharing its job like this way, and it is sharing as well as its time also. Okay, so like this way. So it is given the example in your book in the page 5. You can find that how it is that the first it is going the program A, then as soon as the program A gets completed, then the program B moves on, and then C, what happens? Suppose C, third task is waiting in a queue to be performed, because as soon as the B gets completed, the C also moves on to the CPU for the further processing. Okay, like this way it keeps on moving. Okay, so multitasking is also known as multitasking, just I said, in which the computer handles many tasks or the program simultaneously. It is the type of multitasking also. It keeps on performing one after the another. Whenever the processor is idle, whenever it is finding that the processor is idle during the execution of the process, it restarts execution of another program. Okay, as soon as it is finding, same thing it happens. Suppose we are asking the class some questions to some students. One student is not able to give the answer, then we are moving to the second student to give the answer. Same thing happens that it is in this case also. Suppose one program or one system is idle, not working properly, then automatically the control moves over to the second program for the execution. Okay. So first program, suppose having some difficulty, so it is not getting executed. As soon as it finds that the problem with the first, it moves on to second. Like this way, suppose second is also having problem in execution, then it moves over to third program. Like this way, this keeps on doing. When okay, so like this way, it restarts the execution another program. Multitasking is the combination of multi-programming. What is that? It is a combination of multi-programming and time sharing, just I said. Okay, so we will execute more than one process simultaneously. It can execute more than one task simultaneously. Okay, the technique of multi-programming can be performed in two different ways. Okay, like time sharing, real-time processing. What is that? The time sharing. You see, the method refers to the allocation of computer. The method refers to the allocation of computer resources in a time-dependent slot to execute several programs. Okay, what is that? Allocation of computer resources in a time-dependent slot to execute several programs. So it is having that the ready-made slots for each execution. So okay, so it moves on sharing. It keeps on sharing. Suppose for first task this much time, second task this much time. So like this way, times are also allotted to each task. Okay, so it will, the basic the time sharing to provide this facility a large number of users to execute their programs. So I told you, I gave you the examples of the mainframe. Okay, how it is waiting for the time sharing. Okay, within the allotted time of slot, the CPU time is shared among the users on a. It is CPU time is shared. Especially this happens in the mainframe like computers. So it is scheduled basis which allows user to have a brief share of the same CPU time in turn. In turn, it is using the CPU time in turn. So first task, second task, third task, like this way, it keeps on sharing. Okay. It must be noted that at any instance, the CPU can execute only one job. But CPU is, suppose this much time is allotted to any student. If he is or she is not giving the answer, then we are moving over to. So that means time is his time or her time is over. So I am going for the next student. Okay, same thing happens in the case of, suppose first job is not completed, not able to complete or some within the time slot, then the control of the system moves over to the second system like this way. Can execute, okay, like this way. You can see in the page 6 how it is given that the processor allocated to CPU. Processors must wait for input output operation, and the allotted time is over. As soon as the allotted time is over, then it moves over for the next. Nicely it is with the help of the diagram, it is mentioned over that the processor is allotted to CPU. Okay, that means this process, the time is given for this CPU, that this much ready, it is waiting for the next. As soon as it is not, suppose it is not able to complete also, then it moves over to the second. Like this way, it keeps on moving. Okay, the time saving method, the CPU time is divided into equal slots. The CPU time is divided into equal slots. These slots are assigned to all the users connected to the server system. Okay, the user can use the system only for the specified time slot. Okay, the user can use the system only for the specified time slot. Okay, if the user cannot finish his work within the given time slot, then he will have to wait for his turn to complete the remaining work. So I told you, just suppose because of any problem, maybe if the first task is not completed, then what will happen? The time is over. This much, suppose 10 minutes was allotted. Suppose 10 minutes was allotted for the first task, and that time is over. So now the program or the execution is not completed. So it will move over, automatically the control will move over to the second task. Okay, as soon as the second task will be over, then again the first time will get time to complete its remaining work. Okay, to complete its remaining work. Second task, after the completion of the second task, it will move over to the first task. Okay, then because it will allow the first task to complete its remaining work, whatever that it was not completed within the allotted time or within the stipulated time. Okay, so like this way it keeps on happening. These slots are assigned to it is completing. Okay, real-time processing. Now it is real-time processing. What? A system in which a transaction access means reaching or calling and updating the file. It is what it is doing. It is updating the file done immediately is called the real-time processing. It is as soon as it is what is the updating the file. As soon as the task is completed, it is updating the file. Okay, it is called the essential feature of the process is to take further action on the basis of the result. Okay, it will complete the task. First task it will complete. Then it is informing, yes, it is complete. Then it moves. It can move over the second. This is a real-time process. Is a little different from the time sharing. Time sharing in that time is allotted for each work, but in this it will complete the work. Then it will form the result. Then the second task will come. Okay, so this is the essential feature of the process is to take further action on the basis of the result. In this process, the job is given very high priority. Okay, in this what is the user has to complete the task first. So job has given the user must know the updated information to take further. In this, the very high priority has been given to further action, leaving all other jobs. So the what task it is doing, it has to complete first. That okay, then it moves over to the second. So this is the priority they have given for the tasks to be completed. Okay, for example, suppose air traffic control. where at any moment the user must know the updated information today. Any moment the message is coming, because it is completed that traffic control system, that the information, then it moves over to the second. Updating the bank account of a customer. So what is that? Bank account, not that now I did the transaction and it will transaction and will be completed after 1 day or 2 day or 3 day. No, immediately it is updating bank the account of the customer. Okay, so various transactions about immediately it is doing balance and do for the next action. It is checking also balance. Okay, so this is how it keeps on happening. Next it is, you see, page 7, that is multiprocessing. Multiprocessing, how does it work? So it is a system in which 2 or more CPUs are available independently. 2 or more CPUs are available independently is called multiprocessing. Not it is here multiple CPUs are working together. Okay, suppose for some part for the input output it is checking, some part it is calculation it is doing, sometime about of the some part is there for the displaying the messages. Like this it is keeps on doing. A system in which 2 or more CPUs are available independently is called multiprocessing. It provides the facility to work with a number of users independently. It provides the facility to work with a number of users independently and simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time. All the processors are active. It is having multiple processors, more than one processors are there, and all the processors are ready at the same time, simultaneously. Okay, every user has the facility to work at his own. Because every user is working at his own and pace and execute the program tasks independently. In this process, the instructions from different and the independent programs tasks can be processed. In this process, what happens? Instructions from different and the independent programs tasks can be processed. Okay, different. You see that different and the independent. Not different means I told you just that is some tasks are being processed by the first processor. Second task is being processed by the second processor. Like this third processor is there, it is doing some other work. So all together, all the processors are busy at the same time. Okay, so can be processed at the same time. Instance of the time of different CPUs. CPUs may simultaneously execute different execution instructions are going, but all are working together, right? So a basic organization of multiprocessing has been shown like this. You see the pictures, you see the how the CPU 1 and they're going to the main memory the system, saying same like in the diagram. CPU 2 also exchanging the data and processing. Okay, and with the help of the input output processor. See that second CPU also it is taking second CPU is also having its own input output unit. First CPU is also having its own input output units. So like this way it keeps on performing. There's a difference between multiprogramming and multiprocessing. What is happening? See that the multiprogramming and multiprocessing in this system, multiprogramming in this system, more than one application, programs, tasks is running. More than one task. It is working on a single processor. That is why they are preferred for the time sharing in a single processor. Whereas in the multiprocessing, what happens? Number of available program tasks are running on multiple processors, not one processor. Multiprogramming is having one processor, but multiprocessing having multiple processors. More than one processor, it is working together. Okay. Again, the second point, in the multiprogramming, the user executes the program within the given time slot by the system. The user executes the program. User is executing the program within a time slot. So it is times are allotted for each task. If it is not completed, then again after completion of the next task, first task is given preference to complete its remaining work. To complete its remaining, because within the stipulated time it failed to complete its work. So it is preferring after completion of the second task to the first. Okay, As soon as the second one will complete the task, then the first processor again will get chance to complete its task, remaining tasks. Not only within the slotted time it was not able to complete, so now it is getting. And second, what is happening in the multiprocessing, you see the user executes the program independently. The user executes the program independently and independently, because it is all the tasks are being performed separately in separate processes. So this is the advantage it is having. Okay, thank you class 8 students. You just process. Today I discuss from this first chapter from this page number 3 to page number 7. Page number 3 to 7 you must go through also, then you can understand very easily, I hope so.